If you're anything like me, you probably have more than a few cartridges laying around. Now, while these are great, I prefer them over CDs and DVDs for a lot of reasons, mostly their durability. However, one thing that can definitely go wrong is that they can get dirty and worn over time. Now, while obviously these all have an expiration date, they're not going to last forever, you'd be surprised how many of them that that might start having errors or quit reading. Actually, all they need is just a simple cleaning. Any cartridge is going to have a series of contacts along the bottom. Now, this pretty much is the same no matter what console you're talking about. Perhaps a Sega Genesis like here, or maybe an old Atari, Nintendo 64. There's all kinds, but pretty much across the board you'll find a series of contacts inside the case. Now, these contacts can get dirty and worn over time, and especially if you're noticing like your games are getting slow or you're getting errors, that sort of thing, it's definitely worth a shot to clean them out. So, there's a lot of reasons why they can get dirty. Typically, cartridges are 10, 15, 20, maybe even older. So you can really simply just clean these out with just a couple of things. So what you're going to need to do is get yourself a Q-tip. And I'm sure everyone has a couple of these laying around. All you need to do is dab it in a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Also, you might be able to find it as rubbing alcohol. So what you need to do is take the Q-tip and lightly dab it in the rubbing alcohol. Now, when I say lightly dab it, I mean, just take maybe like a capful or something and just lightly get a little bit of it on there. You don't want it to be dripping or anything like that. So all you need to do is really simply, make sure I can get some light in here, is take it and then just kind of make circular motions around the contacts of the cartridge. Now, don't worry, this is not going to harm it in any way. In fact, this is what a lot of the video game manufacturers, they used to sell cartridge cleaning kits, which pretty much did this exact same thing. Now, most cartridges will have contacts on the front and back, so I recommend do them both. As you guys can see here, just one pass got all of this dirt off the cartridge. So as you guys can see here, you can definitely imagine how this could cause problems with loading and all that kind of stuff. Typically, I like to run it through a couple of times, so don't use that same tip. You want to go ahead and grab the other tip, dabble it a little bit in alcohol, and then go and swipe it a couple more times. Once you've completed cleaning out the contacts of the cartridge, what you need to do is let it set out for a little while. Make sure it's fully dry before you insert it into the console. This typically should not take that long, but the longer you can wait, make sure it's 100% dry, the better you will be. Now, the cool thing about this is that it works with anything with a cartridge, including even Game Boy games. So you just use the same thing, although of course the Game Boy games only have one row of contacts, there's nothing below it. But all you need to do is just take your Q-tip and just run it along inside the contacts to make sure that everything is nice and clean. And there you guys go. You can see that there's quite a bit of dirt and whatnot on that. So we got all that cleaned out. And now, next time we decide to play a little bit of Mario Kart, we should be good to go. Anyway, guys, that's just a quick little tip showing you if you ever have any problems with your cartridges, how to clean them up really nice and easy. Like I said, don't worry about that. That should not cause any harm. In fact, that's the way that they're supposed to be cleaned. Just be sure that you don't go overboard on the alcohol. Just get a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Don't use anything else. Just be sure it's a little bit of isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. Put it on a Q-tip and run it probably twice is what I like to do. Then let them sit out and dry for a little while. And then you should be good to go and you can go back to enjoying your retro games. Anyway, guys, if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe. I do lots of other video game and tech-related content. So if you're interested, feel free to hit the subscribe button above and you'll be notified with all of my new content.